I'm going to talk about common consequences of stress, okay? Like I said, we are still in introduction just to understand the basis of what stress is about. Now, you have physical health problems, just like I mentioned earlier, that stress contributes a lot to certain physical health problems, including high blood pressure, diabetes, stroke, heart attack. You hear of somebody that just slumped and you'll be like, what happened? What happened? Stress is also a contributing factor. And mental health issues like depression, anxiety, which are actually the common situations that are witnessed in stress. Now, the next is decreased productivity. You may be wondering how. If you're stressed, if you're so overwhelmed about something, you're going to find it difficult to work as you should, or as it's expected of you. Okay? And the next is decreased profitability or rather loss of income. So imagine you are an employee and you're stressed about a situation that you're not able to handle, and you just blotted out to a colleague or something, and it led to loss of your job. That's where your income is gone, no be so. Your income is gone. Or if you are somebody that is an entrepreneur, okay, you're not able to manage your emotions properly, and a customer just got you angry or said things you don't like, it's going to make you to react angrily. And what's going to happen? The customer is going to give you a bad review. So it's not only that you've lost a customer. In addition to that, you've also lost your source of income, because that bad review is going to make people not to come for you. Okay, it's as simple as that. Now, the next one is loss of meaningful relationships or marital frictions. This one is common. If you're not relating well to your children, let me say, you're always coming home angry, you're always coming home aggressive because you're not able to manage what happened at work, for instance, it's going to make your children see you as, okay, you're just somebody that gave birth to them, you're not their mom, because you're not behaving like a mom. So it's going to cost you such relationship, and it can also cause problems in your marriage. In fact, certain stress has been noted as a contributory factor to divorce. Okay. Now, the next is ultimately untimely death or reduced quality of life. You know, when we are talking about life, we always talk about, I want to live long. Some people don't talk about that of quality of life, like how much happy are you, or how much peace have you experienced? So if you are living a life of trouble always, or a life of as in just something that is so toxic, nobody needs to tell you that the quality of life you're living is low. And this can ultimately shorten your lifespan, okay? In addition to the reduced quality, which I'm sure is not how you want to live your life, yeah. So we are going straight to what is emotional intelligence, which is our topic for today. Emotional intelligence as a tool for stress management. And before we can talk about this, we have to understand what exactly is emotional intelligence, all right? So emotional intelligence, according to Google, but I'll explain. Just listen to this long sentence. I'll break it down shortly. Emotional intelligence, otherwise known as emotional quotient, or EQ, is the ability to understand, use, and manage your own emotions in positive ways, to relieve stress, communicate effectively, empathize with others, overcome challenges, and diffuse conflict. I know it's a lot to take in, but just know this: EQ, or emotional quotient, I'll be calling it EQ so it will be easier. EQ is managing your emotions for the greater good of yourself and others. So just note this simple understanding, okay? For the greater good of yourself and others. Now, we are going to talk about the components of EQ. I know that you must have read books about EQ where they talked about 5 keys of EQ, like self-awareness, self-regulation, empathy, motivation, and all that. But for the sake of this session, we are just going to talk about 4 major components of EQ, which are self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, and relationship management. This is not theory class, okay? What we are going to do
can
is
you repeat?
Self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, and relationship management. So the essence of this class is that you're going to use these components to manage your stress. So it's not a theory thing. We are going to be as practical as possible, and we'll take each one at a time. Then the first one we are going to talk about is self-awareness. All right. What does self-awareness mean? Let me just use a lame explanation. It means just being aware of yourself. That's actually what it means. I don't need to speak so much grammar about it. Just being aware of yourself. Now, with respect to emotional intelligence, it means just being aware of your emotions. Okay? If I ask you, are you able to explain or express that this is the kind of emotion I'm feeling now? I am irritable now. Like you can say, I am irritable now, or you can say, I am frustrated now. I bet you that some of you may not be able to do that. What you may be able to say is, oh, I'm angry, because that one is common. I'm sad. I'm feeling low, or no, I'm moody. Even feeling low, some people don't know how to say that, don't know how to express that. It's not actually your fault, okay? There are factors that make expressing our emotions difficult, all right? Now, one of such factors is our upbringing. You may not know this, but I'm letting you know that your upbringing can affect how much you know about your emotions or how much you can express what you're feeling. So if you grew up in an environment where they are telling you, let me say you're feeling a kind of way, or you're angry and they're telling you, you shouldn't be angry, you shouldn't be irritable, you shouldn't be this, you shouldn't be that, you're going to find yourself suppressing a lot of emotions instead of expressing them. So when you now grow into adulthood, when you are now in charge of whatever happens to you, you're now the one taking responsibility of whatever happens to you, and such emotions come up, you're going to suppress them because that's what you've learned growing up. And you know the consequence of suppressing emotion. Tochi mentioned this in one of her posts on Instagram. The consequence is that one of the days you just blot out angrily like the whole world is against you, whereas is an emotion that has been there asking you to express it so that you can let it go. But because you didn't know, you allowed it build up until the day your body can't contain it. You just let it out, expressing it in a terrible way that will affect or rather ruin your. Now, the second factor, if you understand, just be writing something in the chat, okay? So that I can say. But if you want me to re-explain something, please don't hesitate to ask, or maybe after the lecture, I'll take questions, okay? Now, the second factor that affects how much we understand our emotions and express them is language deficiency. Just listen carefully. Let me use the Igbo language for example, because I'm Igbo, okay? I can't say for other languages. If you ask me to say something like, I'm irritable right now, or I'm frustrated, come on, I can't, because I don't know what they are in Igbo. Or saying something like, I'm depressed, I don't know what they are in Igbo. So if these words are not in my language, how can I express something I don't know? Does it make sense? How can I express something I don't know? So if I'm telling you now that I'm what will I say? Look, I've talked about irritable. If I'm telling you now that I'm so irritable, I can't say it in English because I know what it means. But if it's something like so I can't translate how I'm feeling. And if I can't translate how I'm feeling, I can't say it. And if I can't say it, I'm not aware of it. Okay? So this thing can affect how I'm responding to situations. Let me say, if it's before I knew about what the word irritable was, and I was just feeling irritable and I couldn't say, okay, I'm actually irritable. How do I communicate to another person to give me space? I can't. The only thing that can happen is that, okay, you're irritable. Oh yeah, start getting angry at everyone, no matter what they did, even if it's something that doesn't matter. Get angry at them and move on with your life, because that's just how you felt. But being aware of your emotions part time will help you to be able to manage it appropriately. So it will also help you manage your stress, because if you don't know about your emotions, you are likely to cause yourself more stress because you are not responding well to people. Okay? And when you are in conflict with another person, don't expect positive energy back. They will give you back what you're dishing out. If you're dishing out negative energy, expect it, no matter from who. If whether it's from your spouse, your kids, your colleagues at work, they'll give it back to you. And before you know, you're saying everybody don't like you, people don't like me, people this, that, and that. Whereas it's something that you could have done better. So what are common emotions that we feel when stressed? You can feel overwhelmed. You can have fear, anxiety. You can be agitated. For instance, like this issue of anxiety. Let me give you an instance. We once had a patient in the hospital who came with chest pain. Okay. Now, this guy has been having this pain for a long time, and he has been going to hospital. In fact, when he came to us, he came with chest x-ray that he has done, because he's looking for answers. How can he just be having chest pain like that at a young age? I think he was in his 30s or thereabout. So this issue continued until it progressed to he wasn't sleeping well at night. I think he would be sleeping and all of a sudden he would just wake up like something is chasing him out of the bed. So when we asked, we realized that there was no symptom per se, nothing. But when we now asked for that what could be the cause of this, we now realized that this guy was working in the bank, and he saw his name in the list of people that were going to be terminated from work. Okay, he hasn't been terminated already. He just saw his name there. So because of that was how his anxiety started. Okay, he didn't know that this was the source of his anxiety. He just realized that he got to a point he wasn't sleeping well. He was having chest pain and all of that. So this has happened for months. And when we realize the source of these symptoms, when there are nothing to show on the x-ray that he has a problem, all the tests proved negative, that was when we made the diagnosis of generalized anxiety disorder. Okay, so that is how much stress can affect you. All right, now the next one of the emotions that we can have when stressed is you can be agitated. You can be known as somebody that is always moody. In fact, before I knew about stress management, there are mornings I wake up and I'm just moody, like I fought with somebody in my dream or something like that. But when you are aware that you don't want to wake up like this, you're better aware, you're better able to manage your situations before you go to bed. So I can wake up a happier person, more energized to do what you want to do. Okay. Now, the next is that you can be lonely, you can feel frustrated. I've talked about irritability. You can be depressed or generally unhappy. Okay, let me tell you something about this unhappiness or sadness and why self-awareness is really important. I was once in a situation where I caught myself being repeatedly sad. Okay, something I was looking forward to wasn't working out. So I now caught myself. I realized that I was becoming sad more often. Depression means persistent low mood for at least 2 weeks. So on my own part, I've become repeatedly sad for like 1 week. So because I was self-aware, I told myself, Ezine, this is not a good path to follow. Because if I wasn't self-aware, I will continue on that sadness. Before I know it, I'm talking about depression. I can't eat. I'm losing weight. I'm losing interest in life. I feel my life is worthless. Things are not working out. So I can't even help myself again because because things have become worse. Okay, so self-awareness will help you to be able to identify the wrong emotions that are persisting as quickly as possible so that it doesn't progress to something terrible that may need maybe the help of a counselor, where you are now booking a series of sessions to help yourself out, your emotion, manage your stress much better. All right. So that's for general unhappiness. Okay. So how can you be more self-aware? We've talked about upbringing being a factor. We talked about language deficiency being a factor. So how can you now be more self-aware now that you know that you're not able to express some things about your life? You can start by practicing mindfulness. Now, the beauty is that emotional intelligence is very, very necessary in stress management. In fact, I'm sure that when you listen to some people or in Tochi's course, you're going to also come across mindfulness as a tool for managing stress. Okay, so what does mindfulness do? Mindfulness makes you to just be aware, to be present in your environment. Like now we are talking, now you're listening to me. You will be tempted to start thinking about your job or a business deal that didn't work out today, or you'll be tempted to maybe think about the job you're going to do on Monday, or how your kids are going to go to school, or Valentine's Day tomorrow. Okay, so your mind is bound to drift from what we are talking about now, and you know the consequences of such drift. The consequences that you're going to miss out on something vital, I will say. And once you miss out on that, you've missed it. Maybe unless you listen to record. Even if you listen to the recording later, imagine the time you would have invested into something else. You're now using it to listen again to this session because you missed out on what we are talking about when you should have listened to it. So mindfulness helps you save time. Okay, now apart from saving time, we are talking about using it to be self-aware. So then that I told you that I was becoming sad often. How did I notice I was becoming sad if I wasn't mindful? I could have just said, I'm just sad and brush it off. No, because I as much as possible, I try to be what's going on, ask questions. If not, I'll just be like, it's nothing, and continue my business until one day you just say that I'm having weakness on one side of my body. You may just have a sensation that will make you ask questions. What is going on? Why am I feeling this way? What feelings am I having right now? Okay. So as much as possible, bring yourself back from all the worries or all the things you're thinking about. Bring yourself back to how you're feeling at the moment, because that's what will help you to interpret what's going on with you and also help you to act on the next step that can either make your situation worse or make your situation better. Okay, so when next you're doing something, focus on that. Be present. Listen to your body. Don't be so carried away by activities. Let me give you an instance about this listening to your body thing. One day I was trying to make an application, and it was becoming a very difficult process because these guys didn't specify how to go about the application. So I was so frustrated. I would figure it out. I must get this thing done. So I kept working on the application. I was so frustrated and angry, like my head was so full. And before you know it, I started feeling certain sensation on my right arm. I said, isn't it? No, 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 no. This is not a good sign. Will you stop that? Stop that. Stop whatever you're doing right now and go and sleep. Even if the world is collapsing, even if today is deadline for that application, stop it. Why was I able to notice this? Because I was aware of what was going on in my body. I understood the signal, and it shouted, the signal was screaming, do something about me, do something about me. So if you are aware of the emotion you're feeling low mood, that means your body is telling you, do something about me, do something about me. You have so much over different things, and you know that this is not who you used to be. It means your body is telling, see, this is not helping people. They'll start taking medications and all that. So another way to be more self-aware is by journaling. Okay, you are able to write, okay, this is how I felt today, this is what somebody did to me, and this is how it made me feel. Okay, this is what somebody did, and this is how it made me feel. That means you're able to recognize a pattern. And if you're able to recognize a pattern, if it's somebody that is the trigger, that means you can easily tell the person, see, this is what you do, and this is how it makes me feel. I don't like it. Okay, can you just do better, or do this or that, so that I can feel better? So you can only talk about your feelings if you are aware. Journaling is a good way. Okay, so when you're writing about your day, the feelings you had throughout the day, the triggers and all of that, you're able to say categorically, okay, these are the kind of ways I feel, these are the kind of emotions I feel. So this makes you to be more self-aware about your emotions. All right, I hope I'm clear enough. Okay, so the next thing we are going to talk about is self-management. That is the second tool we are going to use. Okay, the second tool we are going to use is self-management. What is self-management? Let me use another lame one. How to manage yourself. Very lame. Okay, so self-management is basically how you control your emotions. The emotions that you are now aware of, how do you control them? So it's not enough to know. The next thing is, what do you do? If you are the kind of person that reacts with impulse, okay, let me give you an instance. I was trying to sleep today, and my little lady, I was having a headache, like I really needed to sleep. So my little lady came to me. She wanted to cuddle or whatever she wanted. I don't know. So I wanted to sleep, and this lady came to me. In the process of trying to find her way in my arms, she hit her head on my lips. Kai, it now hit my teeth, my tooth. It was so painful. If I had reacted with impulse, maybe I would have flung her, throw her out of the bed because of the pain. The pain got to my heart. I won't lie. But self-management will help you to think before you react. Okay? It will help you think before you react. You're going to learn subsequently, you're going to learn how I'm able to do something like this, which would also help in managing your stress. So if I had flung my baby, she may have sustained injury. And if she sustains injury, I will feel bad about it. I'll start running around for hospital, which will make me stressed. So did I achieve a good aim? No, I didn't. I acted impulsively, and in the process, I did something I would have regretted. I would have done something I would have regretted. Okay, so that is what happens to some people. If you're unable to manage your emotions, you'll be like, I say it the way it is, I react the way it is. Nobody can tell me anything. Who you they help? At whose expense? It's you. You're only giving yourself more wahala. Nobody wants wahala. Remember, we talked about quality of life. It's not enough to live long, but how much happiness did you experience while you lived? That is the quality of life we're talking about. All right. So, impulse control, how you controlled your behavior. Some people's zone is that their emotions can make them so angry like this that they'll take the television, they'll smash the television. Or they'll take something that is so costly and throw it away. Tomorrow, they'll start regretting. And again, your emotions can make you make certain decisions that you can regret. Let me say you had a little situation with your spouse, and then you now said, we are divorcing right now. or your boss, you had a little situation with your boss, you didn't have time to think, you didn't even want to think, you just decided, I'm tendering my resignation right now. You just write and send. Of course, they will honor it because they don't want wahala too. You tendered your resignation. You don't have a backup plan. You don't have an alternative source of income. Who are you doing? It's yourself. Do you understand? So if you're not able to manage yourself, you are bound to make the wrong decisions. You are bound to destroy things. You are bound to lose your job. You're bound to ruin your life and ruin your relationship with other people and meaningful relationships for that matter. Let me give you an instance. My husband's place of work, there was a driver that took him, okay, he was on, I think, site inspection or something like that. So the driver that took him around, he told the guy to do something. The guy shouted at him. As you know now, shouting at your boss that didn't do anything to you. So my husband, with his little understanding of stress management, he remained calm because he wanted to understand why. Because this is not the guy's behavior, okay? So after they were done, he now asked why. That was when the guy started explaining how he was going through certain stressful situations, okay, that made him react like that. And he was apologetic. So imagine having a different kind of boss. Maybe the person was also going through their own wahala and you're shouting at your boss like that. What do you expect? The boss will say, I can't work with this kind of person. Find me somebody else. And by such behavior, you've lost your job. Do you understand? So before you act, before you react, I know that everybody knows you as somebody that in Igbo we call it Ishiekwe, as in somebody when know they hear, they want to do it as it is in their hearts. Like, don't just tell me anything. It must be this way. At whose expense? You are the one to judge the matter. All right. Now, how to use self-management to manage your stress? The first one is identifying your trigger. Remember when we talked about self-awareness, okay? So self-awareness and journaling would help you identify your trigger. So it can help you know, okay, this is the thing that is always causing me a problem. Or, okay, let me use my baby, for instance. Let me say, maybe around 3 p.m., I want to go live. I have a session to go live, and by that 3 p.m., that's when my baby now decided to start crying and disturbing. I'll now get so angry, like, why now? Can't you allow me? What is wrong with you? And things like that. And maybe I shouted and blotted out at that moment. And it happened again, another session. It happened again and again. By journaling, I may be able to understand that this is actually a pattern. Maybe by 3 p.m. is when my daughter wants to sleep, or maybe she wants to eat more. Do you understand? So by identifying the trigger, I've been able to come up with a solution. So maybe 2:30, I'll try to cuddle her to sleep, or 2:30, I'll try giving her something to eat so that she can let me do the live session. All right. So if you're able to identify your trigger, that is how you can do a more focused, how you can find a more focused solution to your problem. But if I didn't know that was my trigger, I'll just be like, maybe next time I'll send her away to maybe a neighbor, or I'll find somewhere else to go and stay. If she likes, she should cry. And I've not solved my problem. Because if she's crying in another room, me too, I'll be distracted in this room. Do you understand? So identify your trigger, okay? Now, the next tool we are going to use is counting to 10. Maybe you've heard this one when you were growing up. Hold yourself, hold your breath, count to 10. Don't react, count to 10. Count slowly, or no be, okay, you did this to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whoosh. You scatter ground. It's not like that. So in this kind of situation, slowly, if 10 is too small for you, the kind of thing boiling in your heart, please count to 100. Okay, because that's decision you're going to make, or that reaction you're going to do when you were having the negative emotions. You may regret it. So it's better you calm down, count to 10, then you can think better. There's something that stress does, okay? When you're stressed, the stress hormones are elevated in your system. It will cloud your thinking. It will cloud the way you think, the way you see situations, okay? Because your brain is interpreting situations as danger, danger, danger. Until those hormones calm down and you're more relaxed, you won't be able to think properly. That is why you're bound to make the wrong decisions and react wrongly. Okay, so count to 10. It will give your body enough time, maybe at least to lower the stress hormones, to make you think better. And now I'm talking about counting to 10 and being calm. You can also add deep breathing. This one is both for emotional intelligence, stress management, all of them. So deep breathing, like as I'm talking now, you're listening to me. I'm sure you don't even know that you're all you know is that you're listening, you're paying attention, because you're not taking any effort to breathe. However, if you're taking so much effort to breathe, you should come to the hospital and see us, please. it's not the appropriate thing. So breathing deeply now is that you're able to take in more air and then breathe out. You're using your diaphragm to breathe in, your stomach, everything is moving. Boom, boom, boom. And as you're doing that, it's also helping you to relax, helping the hormones to calm down, those raging hormones that want you to break tables. It's helping it to calm down. And you can combine these two to achieve more effectiveness, counting to 10 plus deep breathing, rather than just doing them separately, like 1, not shallow breathing, deep breathing. Okay, so combine the two. It will help you better to manage yourself and to control yourself from reacting in ways you may not like. Now, another thing that is very effective is walking from your goal, but I'm going to explain it further. Okay. Let me use marriage as an example. Your spouse got you angry. You're angry. You're very, very angry. And you feel like scattering things and maybe moving away to somewhere to go and lodge or something. Now, the question you're going to ask, or even breaking his head. Now, the question you're going to ask yourself, what is my goal? I know I've talked about this earlier, but I want to explain further. The question you ask yourself is, what is the end goal? What do I hope to achieve at the end of this brouhaha? You understand? So if you're able to identify, do I want peace or do I want war? This will guide how you manage yourself. So if you want war, please fuel the situation, fuel it, fuel it very, very well. Like if the person is getting angry, add salt to the injury, insult the person you get, so that you get the war you want. And whatever is the consequences of that war, be ready to take it, because nobody did you. You are the one that decided to manage yourself that way. But if you want peace, that means you're going to be intentional in your next speech, your next thoughts, your next action. You're going to be intentional in what comes out of it. Okay? So whatever you want to achieve, if you want peace, walk towards peace. If you want to walk one, now, walk towards war. Fight it. Tear clothes. Anyhow you want, go ahead. But I didn't tell you to do that. Of course, everybody wants peace. Remember what we talked about? Quality of life. How much peace of mind did you experience? It's in your hands. All right. Now, the next two, okay. Now, if you're having the emotion of you're so frustrated right now. Let me say you're applying for jobs and you're not getting any job. So you're going to be so frustrated. This is how you feel. This is the emotion that is raging right now. Okay. And with such emotion, when you know that when you're irritable, if anybody does any little thing to you, you're going to vent the anger at that person. No matter how innocent they are, even if it's a 1-year-old, you vent that anger to the 1-year-old, because this is how you feel, and that is the outlet you are able to get. So what the thing that can worsen such feeling is your thoughts. Okay, you're irritable. You know that you are irritable because you are now self-aware. You've put a name to the emotion you're feeling. Is irritable. And you know the consequences of being irritable. You're going to lash out at anybody around you, no matter what they did to you. Now, what made you to be irritable? You are not having any job. You are not getting good feedback from the jobs you're applying for. And you're now irritable, and it's now making you feel more terrible about yourself. And then you now add salt to the injury by telling yourself, maybe I don't deserve the job. Maybe people are after my life. Maybe working is not for me. Maybe my life sucks. Maybe, such thoughts, such negative thoughts. Do you know what it's going to do to you? As sweet as they come to your head, they are going to worsen your situation. They worsen it terribly. Okay? So when you're having such thoughts of worthlessness, low self-esteem, you're feeling terrible, maybe people don't like me, maybe this thing is not for me, maybe I won't succeed. Once you're having such thoughts repeatedly, it will further worsen the irritability. Like if the level of irritability was 2, with such negative thoughts, it will climb to 5. And your behavior would also worsen because you're responding to a bad situation wrongly. Okay. But if you're able to control your thoughts, that time you start such thoughts of you're worthless started coming in. You remind yourself, no, I'm not worthless. I deserve more. And I am worth so much more. As you're talking positively about your life, you're going to be feeling much better. It doesn't mean it's going to eliminate the emotion, the irritability you're feeling. It doesn't mean it's going to eliminate it, but it is not going to worsen your situation. So if that irritability was meant to last for 2 days because of the negative thoughts, it may just last for 1 hour. Okay? It may just last for 1 hour. So that is the good thing about controlling your thoughts and feeling into things that are more positive. Remember, it's not like toxic positive psychology where you will be saying everything is all right when you're dying and you are not able to get help and all of that. No, this one is just about helping yourself better, not to worsen your situation. So you're just shortening the time it would have taken for you to get out of the terrible mess or whatever. Okay. So that's control your thought. Now, the last one on how to use self-management to manage your stress is by taking a walk. As simple as it is very helpful. I'm not talking about exercise. If you want to add exercise to it, wonderful. I'm talking about just walking, okay? Okay, let me give you an instance. It came back one day from night class. The girl was so moody. I didn't do anything to her. I asked her, how was the studies today? The girl shouted at me. I did not do anything. And I don't like something like that when I did nothing to her. She shouted at me. I was like, man, I started boiling inside. I was like boiling because I don't deserve this. If you had left me, I will shout back. I'll give it back to you, fire for fire. Why will you shout at me? Are you mad? You dey crazy. And before you know, this one also raised her own voice because nobody wants to be defeated in arguments. Nobody. So as from raising voice, before you know it, the tempo will rise. It will rise, and before you know, one person will land slap. Boy, another person will land slap. Boy, wahala. All these things could have been stopped, could have been prevented if you took a walk. If you took a walk, it will give you time to manage yourself, to control that impulse, to prevent you from making that wrong decision, to prevent you from behaving wrongly. Okay? because two wrongs can never make a right. So take a walk. You can just leave the environment. You can just go to another room. It doesn't mean you're avoiding the situation, you're only buying time to prevent yourself from behaving in a way that you may regret, which will further worsen your stress. Okay? So just take a walk. Think it through and come back. So I don't know if you're following, please just let me know whether it's just nod. Okay.
We
if
are
you have any
following, we are
questions, please be
following.
noting
It's
them.
flowing.
Okay.
We are feeling you.
Okay. If you have any questions, you can be dropping them. Okay. Oh, somebody said she's lost. I'm sorry. I noticed your network was having issues, and I'm sure there will be a replay. Okay, don't worry. It's fine. So the next tool is social awareness. In fact, I'm so excited about this one. Social awareness. What does social awareness mean? Another lame one, being aware of social situations. Now, this one now is no longer about you. The last two components we are going to be talking about is about people and your environment. Okay? It's no longer about you. I've shown you how to deal with your stuff so that you can be more equipped to deal with other people's stuff. Because if you are not able to help others deal with their stuff, they'll transfer their own stress to you. Have you heard of secondhand stress before? Secondhand stress is like second grade okrika. Secondhand, that's okrika, where somebody else have won it and then give to you. So secondhand stress is somebody is stressed and they're not transferred it to you, and you unsuspectedly you welcomed it with your head, your hands, your eyes, everything. You welcome it. Oh, thank you for giving me the stress. You now carry it as your own problem. That is what some people suffer. Like in marriages, you've learned how to manage stress. Maybe after touchy scotch, you've learned how to do these things right. And you did not help your spouse, like teaching him, you're telling him, okay, this is how we are meant to do this calmly. You didn't tell him and you're expecting him to know what you know. No, now. He will carry that stress that you didn't show him how to manage and come and transfer it to you. So if you're not able to manage your own well, or if you manage your own well and you don't help others manage your own well, they will bring it back to you. So better learn for both you and other people. All right. So we're going to talk about social awareness. What's involved in social awareness? Social awareness is being able to show others empathy. What is empathy? Empathy simply means your pain in my heart. I understand how you feel. It's not enough to just say, oh, sorry, my leg, sorry, Mabinu is welcome. Sorry, before I say rubbish.
Mabinu is, don't be angry.
Okay. It's not enough to just say, Mabinu, sorry, things like that. No. This one is, I understand your pain like I were the person feeling it. Like you put yourself in the person's shoes to understand how they feel, okay? So that you can know how to respond to them, or you're rather being sensitive to the situation. Let me give you an instance. We visited a family. The man lost his father, okay? And he was grieving. The wife was also grieving. So one of the people that visited now told the wife, you know, you have to take care of your husband now that he has lost his father. It's a difficult time for him. The woman said, me too. They need to also take care of me. The man said, no. You know, it's not your own father. The woman said, what do you mean? I'm also feeling bad. The man insisted, no, it's not your father. So you should take care of your husband. He's the one that will be feeling it worse. From where I was sitting, I was like, are you kidding me? Who are you to dictate how people should respond or how people should grieve about loss? What if the lady took the death personal? What if the man was like a father to her? Why should you dictate how she should feel? That is not being sensitive, even when she has given you both verbal and non-verbal cues that you should stop saying this thing you're saying, because it may be triggering her more. It may be making her feel terrible. But this guy insisted. He's not your father. Wahala. There are people like that too. If you're like that, change. So you have to be sensitive. There is not everything that somebody says that you take, okay? There are sometimes they are communicating non-verbally. You have to understand it. That's being social aware. You have to just understand the words they are not saying, okay? So that you can say the right things, so that you can react the right way, so that you don't worsen somebody's wahala, somebody's situation, okay? So that's social awareness. And then how do we use social awareness to manage your stress? It helps you to know whether to react to a situation and when. Let me give you an instance. I don't want to mention names because somebody here may know the people, may know the person. So let me try to change the story. So there is a lady wrote something on social media about the treatment she received from her family. Okay. Another of the family member decoded the message and said, so it's our own family you're talking about. And now carry that message and send to another relative to come and join in the fight. So this relative reached out to me, see wahala, see what's happening, what should I do? I told the relative, is it your business? Does this matter concern you? Did they write about your family? Did they call your family's name? Somebody just, if you react and words spread, that means they are going to take you as you've taken sides. And before you know it, you've created enemy that you have no idea about. So social awareness just helps you know when to react. When to react. You just understand the situation at hand. Does this deserve my reaction? Even if it deserves my reaction, at what point do I come in? Okay? This is emotional intelligence. If not, you just be that kind of person that will be jumping into every matter, whether it concerns you or not, acquiring enemies here and there. Next, you come on social media and tell us, hello, haters. All my haters. Who hates you? I mean, you acquiring haters. Okay? So emotional intelligence helps you to know when to react, and or rather whether to react or just move on. Like these are small talks. This shouldn't make me angry. This is not my business. Move on with your life. Okay. Now the next one is how to use social awareness to manage your stress by validating people's concerns. So just like the story I told you about the bereaved family, this lady is telling the guy, I'm also grieving. So instead of insisting that she must not grieve like the husband, you can just validate their concern. I know it must be difficult for you. As it validates their concern. Okay? Remember what we said about emotional intelligence. Using your emotions, managing your emotions for the greater good of yourself and others. So life is not just about you. It's about others too. So if you want quality of life, good quality of life, and you want peace of mind, okay, that's also part of good quality of life. And you don't want secondhand stress, just be wise. Okay, emotional intelligence make you wise. All right, and it would reduce your stress too. So validate people's concerns. Okay, let me give you an instance. Somebody said something. No, let me use myself as an instance. I went for a program in the village. Okay, and according to the person that talked to me, she said my clothes were short. I never knew that clothes was short until that day because it's just a normal clothes I wear. So I didn't realize that to their own standard it was short. I said, so when she told me that clothes was short, and now made reference to my mom, like your mother is a member of the head of CW, or that's Catholic Women Organization, train me well. You see, I will interpret it as, oh, you mean my mother didn't train me well. And once I say something like that, I'll get angry, and I'll now go and tell somebody, this is what this person said, and this is how it made me feel. Now, if you're the person that is listening to me, you may be like, Is it just no, that's not how to behave, honey. First, validate my concern. Don't make me feel like a mad person that is talking out of points. That you're able to see situations differently does not mean another person will see the situation differently. Okay? People are influenced by certain things. We are influenced by the environment we grew up in. We are influenced by our genetic makeup. We are influenced by how we are nurtured. Okay? We are influenced by even our health situation, our health status. So you don't expect me to behave or respond to a certain thing with a particular emotion just because that is how you respond. So you that is telling me you shouldn't worry about what the lady said. No, you shouldn't tell me that. First, validate the concern. Oh, you can say something. I'm sorry that you felt this way. I know it must be hard for you with what she said. However, then you can now chip in your phone. But first of all, validate, because that is how you get people to talk to you. If you're in the position of leadership and you're always shushing people, anything they say, get out. And you say, will you get out of my way? What are you talking about? Non-secable. If you're that kind of person, you think people will come to you to talk to you? No, they will run away from you because you are that kind of person that feels their concerns are invalid. But if you're somebody that is why one of the ways they know people that are emotionally intelligent is, I think, they are people person or something like that. How do they put it? Yeah. So this is how you can get people to talk to you if you validate their concern, especially if you're in position of leadership, like mothers now. Hey, your child will come and be like, get out. I'll be like, no, that one no follow. He follow, validate that it follow first, even if it's stupid, before you can now chip in what you think. Okay, good. Now the next one is accept criticism and feedback. If people see you as somebody who don't like taking feedback, they will not come to you. That one is fact. But if they see you as somebody that, okay, I'm not talking about the trolling on social media, no. I'm talking about criticisms from people that genuinely care about your growth. Okay, whether it's family members, colleagues, or something like that, you know that these people genuinely care about your growth. So accept, okay, you think I should improve on this. Is a way to improve. Okay, rather than making you feel bad, like, oh, people don't like me. Who told you they don't like you? You don't want to grow. You don't want to grow. Do you understand? So accept criticisms, especially if your spouse criticize you constructively, not those that attack your personality. So if your spouse criticize you, just give you feedback. See it as an opportunity to grow. It will help you to really help you. That's how they know people that are emotionally intelligent. And it will help you manage your stress, because if you say, this one, they don't talk this one, maybe this is how they've been thinking about me before. Who knows what the next thing that they are thinking about. Who knows? Oh, okay, you now expand the situation. Oh, who knows, maybe they are now also thinking about this. Or let me give you an instance. Let me say you didn't keep the plates and your spouse told you, what's wrong with you? Can you please try keeping these plates better? You'll be like, this one he said this. Who knows what he has been thinking before now? Maybe he also said that I'm now a very dirty woman. Or you now say, I don't know how to sweep. You now expand the situation. Think of scenarios in your head as per. You understand? So accept things that are told as an opportunity to grow and move on. If not, you just build up on emotions that shouldn't be fair, and it will cause you stress. You want peace or war is in your hands. Now, the next one is relationship management as a tool. I think there's a final one. I've been talking. Relationship management as a tool for managing our stress. Now, relationship management has to do with people that have a relationship with you. It can be family, it can be friends, it can be colleagues, it can be your team members, like work, or anybody that has a relationship with you. So let's talk about how to use relationship management to manage your stress. Now, the first one is understand each person's role in your life. See, this one is usually a problem. Let me use Tochi as an instance. Tochi, what's your role in my life? You're a friend. Are you a close friend? How much do you know me? You don't know so much about me. So how do I bring you into my close friend? How do I give you an expectation of my close friend? Let me see. I don't even have Coach's phone number, and I'm expecting Tochi to send me a birthday message. Like how? Like how? So you have to be specific. What is somebody's role in your life? That will determine how much you allow people influence you, influence your emotions, whether you're going to be mad at what they did or not. So there are people that don't deserve your anger. There are people that don't deserve your getting mad. Like there are people that don't deserve you losing your sleep. Okay? Because you understand this is the person's role. A colleague's role is just at work. So why will you carry their matter back home and now use it to disrupt your family prayer time, your family dinner time? Maybe when you and your husband are meant to have sex, you're using it to disrupt the time. You're just disrupting everybody's time because somebody is toxic to you at work. Do you understand? So understand each person's role and how much they should influence your life. Okay? Okay? So that brings me to the next point, which is communicate expectations clearly. Whatever you're expecting from somebody, be clear about your communications. Don't be expecting too much. Let me say you brought in a house help, okay? And then you didn't tell the house help anything, no? And the person woke up in the next morning and just swept her room or his own room and just swept maybe the sitting room. I said, oh, work don't finish. And then he now came out. They didn't wash the place. They didn't sweep the corridor. They didn't sweep you now become angry. Why didn't they do this? Why didn't you do this? What is wrong with you? Are you mad? Your emotions, you're beginning to sound like a mad woman. Why? Because you didn't communicate your expectations clearly. You're becoming stressed. But if you told the person, okay, I expect you to sweep here, here, here. If possible, go you can take the extra length of writing set a schedule. Like this is what I expect you to do by this time, okay? The house help will be able to do things the way you want. You'll be more relaxed, no stress. Your emotions won't be raging because you communicated clearly. So the same thing to people that are your spouse, people that are your teammates. What do you expect of them? Be clear. Don't leave things vaguely. Instead, you're causing yourself more stress. Now, interpret non-verbal cues. It's not everybody that wants to say things. Like as we are talking now, I may just maybe somebody, if I'm seeing your faces, maybe somebody's frowning. The person doesn't need to say anything, but I've already seen, this one is tired. This one is tired of this session. I should hurry up. So someone who is emotionally intelligent is able to understand these cues. Okay? Somebody don't need to say much before you understand. Maybe you visited somebody's house and you don't want to go. What is wrong with it? Is it your house? And the person is giving you cue. The person will be like, or the person will be like, I think I should. You're not understanding these cues. Stand up and leave this place, my friend. They don't need to tell you. So somebody that is emotionally intelligent should understand these cues because it will also help you manage your stress. Because if they see you as somebody that don't understand this, they will not invite you to their house next time. You will not come there because you don't used to understand something. So next thing is understand how people respond to situations. I'm rounding up now. If you're somebody that when you're stressed, you want to be on your own and figure things out before you come out to relate to people, and somebody comes to you and tell you, talk now, you even get angry, right? So it's good to understand people. If you know that this is the kind of person he or she is, you'll be able to leave that person and give the person space. If it's another person, one that wants people that when he or she is stressed, they want to have time with you, they want to talk to you, they want you to cuddle and things like that. You understand this. So if you give the person space, the person will be like you're resenting him or her. So it's good to understand how people respond to issues. Okay, so you not build frictions that weren't supposed to be there. Okay, now the final one is managing conflicts in relationship, which will also be, which I will also trace back to what I said earlier. Choose what you want, peace or war.
I think her network is off. Oh, please. I hope we're enjoying the session. Oh. Type something in the chat box. Are you enjoying it? I'm sorry, a lot of people had network issues.
Sorry, please. Sorry, I was already concluding. Okay, so choose what you want, peace or war. That will determine how you manage your conflict. If you want peace, go for it. If you want war, fuel it. It's as simple as that. And then in conclusion, your emotions affect your thoughts, which in turn affects your behavior, and vice versa. So if you have the knowledge of this, you know that you can also influence how you behave and how you want to manage your stress. And then managing your emotions make you a better person and saves you from the negative impacts of stress, which we talked about earlier. Health or mental health problem, or reduced productivity, or loss of money, or low quality of life, or low quantity of life. That's reduced lifespan. Managing your emotions will save you from all these negative impacts. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Ezine. Thank you. Like, you really did justice to this topic. In fact, I expected this much, but you gave us this much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Please, do we have any questions? Does anybody have any questions? Quickly. It could be anything relating to how your emotions affect you. How do you get to identify your emotions? I don't know, any type of question you have. Dr. Ezine is here.
Sorry, please. I do not understand this managing conflicts in relationship.
Oh, okay. Oh my God.
So I was saying that I don't understand managing conflicts in relationship.
Hello? Sorry.
Okay, Ezine. Can you hear us?
Okay, so yeah, I can hear you. Sorry. Okay, so for managing conflicts, I talked about it earlier when I talked about what you want. What is your goal? That's why I didn't dwell on it again. What is your goal when you're managing conflicts?
Do you want peace or do you want war? You determine the outcome you want and go for it.
Do you want be towards peace? But if you want war, then you fuel it as much as you want. Do you understand? So work from your goal backwards. Okay.
Any other question? Is there any other question?
Yes. How do we make our expectations known to our spouse?
By communicating them. Communicate. So, see, there is this trap we always fall into, and that trap is expecting them to understand what we want of them. Nobody's a magician. So if you want something, talk about it, communicate it. And then in communication, please don't communicate with the intent of you must understand me. No. You have to communicate calmly. If you want to be understood, you have to be calm, because nobody wants to be shouted upon. You can't be shouting at me and be telling me what you want of me. I may not even hear you because you're making my heart to hit really fast. But if you want me to understand you, talk to me like you want to be really heard. Okay, so you must communicate. Must.
Exactly. The approach matters a lot. Your manner of approach. When you approach somebody peacefully, the person will respond to you peacefully. But if you come in an aggressive manner, the first reaction the person has is to defend him or herself, and you won't even get the necessary outcome out of it. So we put a lot of responsibility on other people. Know how you feel, know what you're thinking, know what to do. It's too much. So through communication, it makes things easier and it relieves your stress.